Yeah.
Well, from my point of view, I'm a Koreanist, and I like to push Shijo in contrast to haiku, because I'm frankly jealous as a Koreanist of how well the Japanese have done with haiku. And so I'm anxious to push Shijo and to see Shijo become a part of the American curriculum. Welcome, everyone. This is Mark Peterson with the Frog Outside the Well Research Center. And today we are going to interview the two winners of the Sejong Cultural Society Shijo contest that just finished. We'll have the adult division winner and the student division winner. And speaking of the Shijo contest, I understand there's one more coming up in LA by the LA Cultural Society later next month. And also, you might be interested to know that I found out that the largest Shijo contest in Korea is sponsored by the JoongAng Daily News, and we have more applicants than they do. So I'm really pleased to think that Shijo is catching on in America more than it is in Korea. Figure that one out. And that's one of my goals as a Korean studies person, is to see Shijo picked up more in America. And we've used the haiku as the format. Everybody knows haiku, but we want everybody to learn about Shijo now. So let me introduce our two winners. Let me start with Alice. Alice, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us where you teach, and a little bit about how you got involved with Shijo.
My name is Alice Davidson, and I teach world history at the Episcopal High School in Houston, Texas. And I got involved in Shijo because I was taking some online professional development courses in Asian history and Asian culture. And I was able to go to a conference in Boulder, Colorado, all about Korea. And so I tried to write one, and then I worked on it for a while, and then I entered it in a contest, and I ended up winning.
Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Andy, tell us about your background. You're a student in the Vancouver, BC area.
Yeah. So I'm a high school student studying, or just graduated from Burnaby North Secondary School in Burnaby, BC. And I learned about Sijo through my creative writing teacher, Ms. Smith. And basically we were going through a poetry unit, and she was trying to teach us about like different styles of poems that we haven't really learned about before. Like, because we usually go through like the more common stuff like sonnets and like limericks and stuff, but write a couple. This was actually my second out of 3 that I tried writing, and yeah, and then I submitted it and I somehow won.
Congratulations. Alice, let's talk about your Shijo. I'll put it up here so people can read it while we're talking. It's about a sweater.
Yes.
Can you read it for us?
Oh, I don't have it in front of me.
I'll read it. Yours says, "That sweater so warm and soft, yet full of holes, hangs unworn. Let's toss it. Downsizing means tough decisions. No one wants to wear it. Wait," I cry. "Grandma made that when I was young. It still fits." You know, the thing that I liked about this Shijo was I thought "it still fits" at the end was optimistic.
Yeah.
And I'm making the excuse that it still fits because it has a lot of sentimental value.
Right.
How do you see your poem?
I see it not quite so literally, because it's in my mind. It's not exactly a real sweater. My grandmother knitted a lot. All my memories of her are knitting. And she knit for us mittens and scarves. I grew up in Michigan. And she did knit a sweater, but when I was really a little girl.
Well, the theme of your Shijo, you didn't put a title on it. I would probably call it The Sweater, but the theme is sentimentality.
Yes.
And, sentiment is a worthy value to capture in poetry. So I think the sentiment of that is really nice. And I love "it still fits" at the end, because to me, that's a lie. and it's optimistic thinking. It's an interesting twist that you put on it at the end. Now, Andy's poem is, if yours, Alice, is a sentimental poem, Andy's is a love story, a broken-hearted love story, and it's just beautiful in the sentiment that it has. Andy, can you read that for us?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my Sijo is titled "Lost Letters." 100,000 love-filled letters I have written for you. Tonight, my pen runs dry, trapping my words within my mind. Why do I still stoke the flame that I know will never warm me?
Ah, that's just beautiful. The heartbreak of young romance, one-sided love, unrequited love. That's just beautiful. And Andy, where did you get the idea that when your pen runs dry, words are trapped in your mind? That's just a beautiful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think my thought process there was like the more I write, the more words come to my mind, and it's sort of like it flows like from my head through my arms to the pen, right? And so when I run out of ink, it's sort of like that gateway there between my mind and the paper that I'm writing on is blocked. The door's shut, and I can't keep writing.
Yeah, I think that was the winning element of your poem. That the imagery of running out of ink blocks your thinking process, so you can't even think anymore. And then your final line is just beautiful too. Why do I still stoke the flame that I know will never warm me? She's not going to respond. This is a hopeless love, yet I'm pursuing it no matter what. And it's just beautiful. Alice, you like it too, don't you?
Oh, I really do. When I read it, I was just amazed. I mean, I really like it. It has such wonderful visuals.
Andy, in your poetry class, you talked about doing sonnets and limericks and such. Did you do haiku?
I mean, I've touched on haiku like in younger grades, but we didn't do it in that year specifically. Like we didn't do any lessons on it or anything, so no.
Okay. Well, this has been marvelous. It's been nice to meet you two young authors, young aspiring Shijo writers. Congratulations again to both of you, and thanks for participating in the Shijo contest. Okay, next we have Liz Jorgensen, who is a teacher from Heartland, Wisconsin, right? What's the name? Arrowhead?
Yep, Arrowhead Union High School.
Arrowhead Union High School. Now, Liz is a particularly important person in the Shijo world because she teaches people that are winners of these contests. I think every year for the last 5, 6, 7 years, you've had at least one winner, sometimes two.
Yeah.
This year, you had 4 student winners and a friend in the adult category, and you just found out about it when I told you that the winner in the adult category also gives you credit for teaching her.
Yeah.
In one of her teacher seminars. So you've been very active in the Shijo world. This broadcast is going to go out to Korea, and some Koreans are going to be interested in this. They're going to want to know how you got interested in Shijo. Have you been to Korea?
No, I haven't. It's on my bucket list. I'm hoping soon.
You've never been to Korea, and yet you use Shijo as a teaching vehicle in your literature classes.
Yeah, I teach creative writing, and I'm always looking for authentic purposes for my students' work. And I think about 10 years ago, I came upon the Sejong Cultural Society's annual competition, and I knew nothing of the form at that point. And I just used their resources to teach myself. And I really fell in love with the form and what's possible within it, and just how beautiful and lyrical the poems turn out.
And now you are one of the resources. You're one of the recordings that a person can click on to see how you teach Shijo at the Sejong Cultural Society website. And you've done live seminars. We've got another one coming up in another month or so here, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the webinars on Tuesdays.
Webinar, yeah, indeed. So you actually challenge your students to publish, to win a contest or to get published somewhere. That's a marvelous thing.
Yeah, I really want them to realize that, you know, the point of writing is to share what you've done with other people, to move someone else, to inspire them, to make them think, or just to do something with your words beyond just having it stay inside my classroom walls.
One of my favorite Shijo over the years was written by one of your students who sort of backed into Shijo. That's Emma, the
Austin Snell.
Austin Snell.
Yeah.
And the poem was Emma, about a boy who lost his aunt, but they had acquired a little dog, and he sees his aunt's eyes in his dog's eyes. Just a beautiful little poem.
Yeah.
This year, you had really 6 winners, 4 among the students and 2 among the adults. So big congratulations.
Thank you. It was very exciting to see the success of my students and my friends and people who I've introduced to the form.
Yeah. What is it about Shijo? You mentioned the lyrical quality. What is it about Shijo that captures yours and your students' interest?
I think students like it because it's manageable. You know, it's 3 lines and there's this set pattern with the syllables. Students who struggle with direction or what should I do or how should I begin, that gives them a launch point, and they find that really exciting. And then on sort of the other end, students who want to write about a particular topic, if we're talking about, you know, Austin, I know he really wanted to make a tribute to his aunt in his poem. You can write about whatever you want. And then as an instructor, I like that I get to talk about things like language and emotion and how can we use metaphor or allusion. And then, of course, the turn, the twist, the joke, the play on words, the aha moment. That's always fun for me to see kids process and work through and to come up with something that the reader doesn't see coming and isn't cliche, and really pushes their intellect and their thought.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. I can hear you teaching your students as you talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, from my point of view, I'm a Koreanist, and I like to push Shijo in contrast to haiku, because I'm frankly jealous as a Koreanist of how well the Japanese have done with haiku. And so I'm anxious to push Shijo and to see Shijo become a part of the American curriculum the way you do it. And I would hope to see that all across the country the way haiku is. And I think we're making progress. Here's a surprise that you may not know about. The major Shijo contest in Korea is sponsored by the Jungang Daily. The Jungang Daily has a contest, and I found out that they have this year 500 and some applications. Sejong, the Sejong Cultural Society in Chicago, has over 1,000. They had like 1,200 this last year. So I don't know if we've permeated all of American society, but we're beating Korea with our Shijo contests. So that's a great thing. Thanks, Liz, for all that you do for not only Shijo, but the way you teach your students. So thanks very much, and congratulations once again.